mean, sensation is a messenger always,
Mhm.
and it's an invitation to get curious. At the end of the day, curiosity is the secret sauce to life. If we can just attune to that curiosity and being like, wow, what is that tightness or tension in my chest telling me? What is that rumbly feeling in my belly? Like,
Mhm.
can I get curious about it?
Welcome to the Owning Your Sexual Self podcast. I'm your host, Rachel Main, sex and relationship coach and therapist, and I'm so honored to have you here. This podcast was created as a space for honest, nuanced, shame-free conversations about sex, intimacy, desire, relationships, and what it really means to feel at home in your body. Whether we're talking about pleasure, boundaries, communication, healing, or the messy middle of long term relationships, this is a place where you don't have to have it all figured out in order to belong. As I enter into my 6th year of podcasting, I feel more committed than ever to helping you soften the pressure, trust your body, and build a relationship with your sexuality that feels grounded, empowered, and true to you. So take a breath, let yourself arrive, and know that wherever you're starting from is more than enough. Now, let's get into today's episode. All right, everyone. We're back for another episode of Owning Your Sexual Self today. And you might recognize this beautiful face that I have on with me. She was on the show way back. My God, you were actually in year one. And then I think you were in year 2020. So this is your third appearance. We talked around, I think we did playground sex ed. If somebody goes back and like how we learned about sex ed, and just like bodies and all that. And then we did a menstrual cup podcast, and now here we are, somatics and sexuality. We have evolved, Molly. This is where we landed.
I love this.
Yeah, I love this too. It's so good to connect with you, to have you back on the show. Yeah, just love the honor that I get to see you on most every day of the week now that we're working together with Libido Fairy. That is amazing.
Me too.
And yeah, and you've like done some really cool work in this past year with the somatic experiencing. So I'm so excited again to have you on this as an expert in the field to tell us more about it. So yeah, why? Tell us. I want to start with like why? Why even go down? You're a sex coach, right? You've been in the space of sexuality. What even led you towards the somatic space and bringing this into the work?
Yeah, and it's such a good question. And, I often talk about like, I've been on my own journey. I've been on my own journey for, gosh, like 10 plus years. And, professionally, I've always wanted to be the person that my younger self needed. And so that's always my guiding light. And I was really finding that in my own healing journey, um, doing a lot of different talk therapy modalities, that I felt wildly stuck. It was like, okay, I get it. I understand that what happened to me wasn't my fault, all of these things. But how come like, nothing was changing inside? Nothing was shifting for me. My nervous system felt so stuck, and I was just in this constant frozen state. And so I just started having a lot of curiosities about like, okay, I need something more. What is that? And somatics, that's what it is. Somatic work is all about understanding our nervous system, right? And really understanding the language of that. Our brain works in a totally different way. Our brain is like words and we're trying to make sense of things, but our nervous system, ooh, she's a different beautiful beast.
Mm.
And she works in the realm of sensation and colors and texture. And so it was like, yeah, I got to figure out what's going on in my body. And so that led me to plant medicine, which was the biggest
Hey.
yeah, which was like the biggest nervous system reset for me. And it was after that, it was like, all right, I need to know more about this. And so I started my somatic experiencing journey of 3 years of just really getting intentional about my system. How does trauma show up in the system? And in terms of my own healing, I was having so many psychosomatic things happening in my body. All of those IBS girls out there, I feel you. I know that pain where you go to the doctor and you have so many gastrointestinal issues. And they're like, yeah, that must be IBS because we don't have any other bucket for that, right? And
Mhm.
you're sitting there and they're trying to be like, well, just take this for your nausea and take this for when you have diarrhea. And it's like, no, it doesn't have to be like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so, whew, that led me to really slowing down and learning about what was stuck in my body.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things I love so much about somatic work, and if anyone is curious to learn more, read Peter Levine, Waking the Tiger. It is so freaking good about explaining like why we do this work. And ultimately, somatic experiencing came to be because Peter was looking at animals in the wild, and they were like, wow, how come animals don't actually suffer from PTSD? Like
Just,
they're living in high flight or fight all the freaking time.
yeah.
But you go out there and none of them have PTSD. And then it was the slowing down of, okay, look what happens, right? There's an animal and it's getting chased by another animal. And all of a sudden it does its dead protection, right? And it just like goes totally limp. And the animal like has it by its neck. And you're watching this being like, I'm freaking out. Like, oh my God, what's about to happen? But then, say another larger predator comes on, the lion like drops whatever animal it had and chases away. And if you look at what happens to the animal, it needs about 5 to 10 minutes, but it's laying there looking totally dead. And then it kind of like starts to move a little bit. You'll notice they have this big intake of breath. They jump up, they're like, holy shit, that was crazy. And then they're off like
Mm-hmm.
nothing had ever happened.
Mm-hmm.
As humans, how can we be more like that?
Mm-hmm.
And so that was the quest that I went on was like, wow, my body's in freeze. How can I get out of that? And it's really just being able to turn towards and to be with these sensations in our body so that they can complete the loop that it needed to complete.
Mm-hmm.
So what that looks like for the human is, every small moment, like as a child, when your mom said something and you were like, what? What? That moment gets stuck and imprinted in our body.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes from these tiny little moments to the big T traumas, right? It just gets stuck and it doesn't have anywhere to go.
Mm-hmm.
And ooh, what a gift to be able to be with that and to let it complete.
Yeah, instead of running from it, shying from it, seeking out medical help for it, right? Like from the doctor. I'm glad that you roped in the IBS talk with it. I was the IBS girly myself. I actually had a doctor's appointment on Thursday, and I was like, maybe I should get a refill of the script that I used to take for IBS. But it like had this moment. I was like, I don't need the script. Like I've been on it without it for months now and like haven't even felt the urge to use it. And I truly like would accredit somatic work to doing that. It's like I think somatics is it's having the relationship with your body. I think sometimes when I'm bringing it with clients, it's like, well, teach me the techniques, like teach me all the things, but it's like it's actually just it's the noticing of the body. And bringing in, you wanted to talk about orienting here. I think that's like a good segue into this of like what is that orientation? Like what can people do as a step one to try to create that awareness with their body?
Yeah, and I love that. And I really like to talk about orienting, especially through the lens of my story of those of us who maybe have experienced some big T traumas in our life that we're kind of always living in maybe a dissociative state or just feeling really frozen inside. And orienting is the number one thing to start with. And the reason why is because orienting signals to the body that, hey, we are relatively safe and brave in this moment.
Hmm.
And so, one of my favorite orienting exercises, and everyone can just like pause and do this with us, but is to utilize your neck muscles and really look around your room and name four things out loud that you can see or that your eyes are just like naturally drawn to, right? And just like acknowledging them. And so for me, I've got this painting over here and I have a crystal, I have my candle and my incense, my sweet little pup over there,
Hmm.
right? And then us noticing three things that you can hear. And sometimes this is a little bit more difficult, but just really like trying to settle in of like, all right, what can I hear right now? And I can hear Tildy's breath. I can hear the pull of the air through like the heat vents, and I can hear the sound disruptor, like that's sitting right outside the door. What are two things that you can feel and really like look around and tactily like touch them?
Mhm.
I've got this crazy little fuzzy monster that I love so much.
I have my
And
Harry Potter squishmallow.
I
I
love
love
it.
to squish him. He's so fluffy.
Yes, it's so good. And just like noticing that, right? And I'm also going to use my sweater because it just feels really, really yummy. What are, what's one thing that you can either smell or taste? And for me, it's the mint that I just had. But there's this power of kind of going, looking all the way around and just slowly zeroing in until this is just like me and my system.
Mhm. Mhm.
And it can be particularly powerful for those of us who, again, having had any kind of like sexual violence or anything in our past, where wherever we are, that is what the first thing we should be doing, looking around, making sure our animal body knows, yep, we're safe. We can be brave in this space.
Mhm. Yeah. I love that. Like creating, yeah, creating that awareness and the way that the nervous system, how I've learned it is that your body, when we're in that either hyper or hypo state, right? Like the body thinks that it's under attack. It's like, bear is attacking me, lion is attacking me. How do I respond in this moment? But when we bring in the practice of orientation, exactly as you said, it's like showing the body, like, no, we're good here. Like it's okay. And I also something that a therapist helped me along the way was is noticing and changing my language that the trigger is my teacher. And the trigger, like when I feel that trigger in the body, because I think trigger is also such a bug where like, oh, I'm triggered, right? It's like this bad thing. But it's like, how can you shift that? And so trigger as my teacher has helped me really to see like, oh, my body's alarm is going off really like right now. Like it's just as like my alarm goes off in the morning to like wake up for the day. That's not a bad thing. Sometimes it feels like a bad thing, but generally like I'm ready, you know. Or whatever it is. And so I think it's yeah, looking at that as and I think using the trigger as the teacher, it's like that teaching moment to teach myself, hey, I am safe here. Hey, it's okay. Like, and I also thanking my body for having that process. Especially like the IBS stuff is landing so hard because I used to get so mad. For me, it was like the feel of I had to go to the bathroom. And right, you're in public, you're out having this really fun event, you're somewhere where there's not a bathroom very conveniently. Like most of my 20s fucking ruined and like because of that, because yeah, because of all this. And so I'm just like thinking through that, like, gosh, if I could have known and used these tools to be like, hey, we're good, like settle my body in that way, my gosh, my life could have looked so differently in that sense.
Yeah, and I just love what you said. I mean, sensation is a messenger always,
Hmm.
and it's an invitation to get curious. Like at the end of the day, curiosity is the secret sauce to life,
Hmm.
right? If we can just attune to that curiosity and being like, wow, what is that tightness or tension in my chest telling me? What is that rumbly feeling in my belly? Like,
Hmm.
can I get curious about it? And oftentimes we assume so many things about those sensations. We like let our mind get involved, and then our mind immediately labels it as like, good or bad, right or wrong,
Hmm.
when really it's just a sensation.
Yeah.
And there's like a really subtle texture between all of these sensations, right? Like that rumbliness in my belly. It could be excitement or it could be fear or it could be I'm about to shit myself. Like it could be any of those. But when we attune and get curious, it's like, oh yeah, no, okay. It's not that one.
Hmm.
It's this one.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and I what the part I wanted to add it to was like for so long I was so mad at my body for the sensations that it was giving me. And you had said something before we started recording around befriending the body and that has like really landed with me. So I would love to yeah, go into that. Like what does when you say befriend your body, what does that even look like?
I love this question. Yeah. Befriending the body. Oof, Rachel, in a similar way, I remember the first time a mentor said this word to me, and I literally choked up inside. I was like, what? what do you mean befriend my body? What do you mean find safety in this like meat suit? What? Like, that felt really, really hard and really unattainable. And what I've learned of befriending the body is to just recognize and learn that we are in constant co-creation with our bodies,
Mm.
that many of us feel so broken. And like, because of our lived experience, we've learned not to trust our body. And what was it like to really give yourself a reframe of our body and my body is infinitely wise? And how can I get curious to attune myself to those sensations and to what my body is really saying? And girl, it is a fucking process. It is not like a one and done activity, light switch moment where, like, yeah, I did that thing in the mirror and now I love myself.
Mhm.
No, this is a thing that takes intention and presence and thoughtfulness, right? It's a quest. And for me, at least, it really started with, well, two things. One, befriending my body started with giving myself a new narrative that I'm not broken.
Mhm.
And to really like look myself in the mirror with so much love and non-judgment. And mirror work, ugh, every time I offer it to a student, I feel it in my body where I'm like, fuck,
Mhm.
I hated that. Like, why would I tell someone to do it? But it's actually through that uncomfortableness that you get to the other side. And so, mirror work of just really being able to sit in front of a mirror with myself, of being like, wow, all right, like, I got some strong arms. Like, how can I reframe all of those moments of criticism into something loving?
Mhm.
And through that work, it was really about learning and trusting that my body loves touch and pleasure.
Mhm.
This isn't something that was pushed on me, but that it's actually something authentically within myself. And I'm like, yeah, fucking love pleasure.
Mhm.
Touch is so sacred and beautiful, right? And one of the practices that really helped me kind of bridge this with not only befriending my body, but also just tapping into my sexual beingness and who
Mhm.
I am as a sexual human was sacred self-pleasure.
Mhm.
And, we all have that moment of like, we know how to get off in a really fast way because it's what we need and it feels good. But when you invite yourself to slow down, oh my gosh, that's totally crazy. And my body hated every moment of it. It was like, what do you mean we're going to sit here and get exploratory?
Yeah.
I had to produce so much safety of being like, no, it is okay for us to be here. And when it came to sacred self-pleasure, oh my gosh, I want to say like the first 6 to 7, 8 months I was doing it, it really wasn't anything sexual. It was literally me like laying in bed being naked or as naked as I felt comfortable in that moment and just sitting with like, wow, what is it like just to put my hands on myself?
Mhm.
What's it like to feel that pressure, to feel that warmth, to have that curiosity? What kind of touch feels good in my body? And Rachel, I would just sit there and I would sob. I would just cry. It would be so hard. And I would just be like, what the hell is wrong with me? Why can other people do this and I can't? But it was like such a cathartic release. My body needed to just purge those tears and sit with them. And
Mhm.
so I would just sit there and just cry and cry and cry. And then one day it was like, wow, I have no more tears. Like there's nothing else is showing up. And then that was such an invitation. And I felt such my body's way of giving me consent of, yeah, let's get a little bit more exploratory. What does this mean?
Mhm.
And it was wild. It was a
Yeah.
wild experience.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing, especially your personal experience with it. I think that is helpful. And yeah, I think it's like it's that sacred self-pleasure is instilling that presence with yourself. And so taking away, it's not necessarily meant to be orgasm related, right? I think when we hear pleasure, we think it has to lead to orgasm. And I also want to share here, it's like for people listening that nothing nothing is necessarily supposed to happen. Like it's not supposed to look a certain way when you do this. My experience in this was, yeah, I was so attached to it in the sense of like something should be happening. I should be having some feelings or some emotion around this, or yeah, I should be crying or I should be laughing or I should want to touch myself further. And detaching from that and just, yeah, just letting the experience be was helpful. Like not having the agenda or the expectation attached to it. So I wanted, yeah, I just wanted to piggyback that on to that for people that are listening, because if they're like me and they like the what is supposed to happen, step one, step two, step three, okay, done.
Yeah.
That somatic work is not that.
No, and you just let your brain jump in, and
hmm
we've lost all connection with the sensations and what your body is really trying to say.
hmm
And just picking back off of that one, like when there's an agenda and we put ourselves in that, like we should be doing, our cortisol levels have already raised, right? That stress hormone in our body has already risen. And what we know is that the moment that stress hormone hits our brain literally shuts down into its basic lizard brain limbic function of fight, flight, or freeze or fawn.
hmm
And so there's like no ability to attach yourself to your libido or to any sexual like context.
hmm
Ugh, girl, we cockblock ourselves all the time.
We,
All the
oh my
time.
gosh, I know. I know. Yeah, the attaching of the agenda or the attaching of the should,
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, that
totally.
like that non-sexual pleasure, like it can be so many things. It can be, right, the warmth, it can be the movement, it can be rest, it can be sound, it can be comfort, it could be so many things. It could be taste, like, and that's, yeah, it's not necessarily about sexual pleasure. It doesn't have to, like, pleasure is pleasure. And right, when we flex that muscle outside of the bedroom, it's going to make it easier to flex that muscle inside the bedroom of like, oh yeah, my body knows what it's like and knows what to do when it feels good.
Absolutely. And my goodness, when sexual pleasure feels hard, the
hmm
first thing you should be doing is asking yourself, how much non-sexual pleasure am I truly engaging in my day-to-day life?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm going to bet that it's probably not a lot. Or you might think you're doing it, but you're not actually being present and mindful during the experience.
Yeah. I want to take a quick moment to share something simple that can help support your overall health and your sexual health too. You may have heard me say previously, hydrate, meditate, and masturbate. And today we are talking about the first one of those three, hydration. Hydration is one of the most overlooked foundations of how our bodies function. When we are even mildly dehydrated, it can affect our mood, our energy, circulation, and how connected we feel to our bodies. All of that matters when it comes to desire, arousal, comfort, and pleasure. Hydration supports blood flow, tissue health, and natural lubrication, which plays a huge role in how responsive and comfortable your body feels during intimacy. Instant hydration is more than just water. It's backed by science and designed to actually help your body absorb and retain hydration. The formula is packed with electrolytes that support optimal absorption so that your body takes in water faster and stays hydrated longer. It also uses a balanced blend of natural ingredients free from artificial additives to support your body's daily hydration needs. And it's great for faster recovery after workouts or simply just staying energized throughout the day. I personally love how easy these packets make hydration, especially on my busy work days or during travel, or just on those days where my energy is feeling low. And if you're curious, my favorite flavors are raspberry, cherry limeade, and mango pineapple. So if you're looking for a simple way to support your energy, your body, and your sexual well-being, this could be a great place to start. You can use my code Rachel33826 to save 40% on all instant hydration packets. That's Rachel33826 for 40% off, and we will make sure to link this in the show notes for you. Supporting your sexual health does not always start in the bedroom, everyone. Sometimes it just starts with some simple hydration. So this is something that you've, I think, shared in the past that's been helpful for me, so I'll ask it so you can answer it. But if somebody notices like, yeah, well, I do, you're like, yeah, I like that thing. Like, like I enjoy my showers. What's something that somebody can do to bring more intention behind those? So like actually like really feel the pleasure in some of the things that we're already doing.
Yeah, and this is just like an invitation for mindful moments.
Hmm.
And girl, you know I love a shower.
Hmm.
So, yeah, and the shower is such a beautiful place to do this. But allowing yourself that moment, those 30 seconds, that 3 minutes, whatever feels good to you, of what does the water feel like? How warm is it? What is it like just to put my head in there and just like have it beating down and giving yourself that moment to really just be in the warmth?
Hmm.
Or as you're sudsing up your shampoo or your soap or whatever, but like, what does it feel like in my hands as I'm putting it together and lathering up? What is it like to really wash my hair and to feel, right? Like, you know, the difference between when the shampoo's washing down your body versus if it's just like a water pellet,
Hmm.
and just noticing, what does that feel like? Or if you're really wanting to get next level, put your little head underneath the faucet or the shower head
Hmm.
and see if you can track one droplet of water as it
Hmm.
traces down your body. And really, all of this is an invitation to get curious,
Hmm.
to just be in the moment. My other favorite is really like, when you get out of the shower and you're drying off, many of us put on body lotion.
Hmm.
It's really easy to put on body lotion and be like, yeah, I'm just swapping it on. I got to get to the next thing. But what if for the 30, 75 seconds that you're doing that, you were to slow down and be like, hey, wow, I got some really soft skin. Oh, hey, little muscle, I see you. Right? But just to give yourself a little bit of love, be like, damn, I am a hot human.
Hmm.
Okay, how can I love on myself enough?
Yes. And what might people notice over time when they start to let that pleasure be more simple for them and less goal oriented?
Mm. It just starts happening so much easier without you having to put so much mental effort into thinking about it. Or, you know, we live in a culture that really honors hustle and busyness.
Yeah.
And this work is really asking you to do the exact opposite of that. And so, what I've known and witnessed and learned from my own experience in this is that the more we allow ourselves to slow down, it actually gets easier. It's not so hard.
Mhm.
And if anything, you notice all these moments that it's so easy to slow down and to just like be really into the moment of putting on your lotion or brushing your teeth. And then one day it's like, oh my God, I'm feeling the pressure and I don't like it.
Mhm.
And then that's a mind fuck when you're just like, what? How did I get here? Right? But yeah, it just becomes easier. It's you're learning a new muscle in the gym, and the first many, many times you're doing it, you're like, ugh, my abs are really sore. And then it's like, hey, I can do so much more of it, and I'm not thinking about how hurty my abs are.
Mhm. Yeah. And hey, I have abs
Yeah,
because I can feel
exactly.
them.
And it feels great,
Yeah, they're in there.
right?
Might not see them as easily nowadays, but they're in there.
Heck yes. Heck yes.
Yeah. And I think another thing that you've helped introduce me to also is the using of our voice or the use of sound in the somatic space. And so can you speak a little bit about like the connection between voice, pleasure, and let's like agency of ourselves?
I love that. Yeah. And this one was really difficult for me. Again, I was deeply frozen. And how this showed up for me personally, um, was a reflection where I was like, wow, I actually don't use my voice very often at all. And especially in intimate moments, I'm pretty quiet. I don't say a lot. And it was like, okay, how can I feel safer to do this? And part of coming out of that freeze was literally like the power of feeling the vibrations inside of me. And so a few ways of like inviting this into your life. One, super simple, but whenever you're listening to music, really like allowing yourself to connect in with it, to hum, to just be like, right? I mean, like whatever, it doesn't have to be like a totally outward, but just even as you sit here and let's just hum for a couple seconds together, right? It was like, hmm.
Mm. Mm.
yeah, just notice like what's different when you stop. Like, what do you notice? And for me, it's like, oh my God, when I'm humming, it's like I feel so alive. I feel it from my insides.
Hmm.
And there's this interesting vibration that feels really good. And that vibration is actually like sourcing your aliveness and your energy. And so many of us get blocked in our throat chakra. And so noise and energy, whether that's like having a drum beat and connecting with it through that, or listening to music or viewing, they're all ways of bringing your body out of that freeze, recognizing that you're safe to be that. And the more we connect with the voice, we actually have more connection to our agency, to our power.
Hmm.
And that comes out in the boardroom as we're talking to our kids at breakfast, in intimacy, how comfortable you feel in like speaking your truth to your partner.
Hmm.
And part of that truth is, yeah, oh my God, that feels fucking amazing. And how can I say that?
Hmm. Yeah. I find that intimacy is, even solo intimacy is much more enjoyable and pleasurable for me if I'm using my voice. I'm
Yes.
known to be a little bit loud in these spaces, and so but it just makes, I don't know, for me it just makes a difference. So this makes sense of like, yeah, feeling that expression again, even if even if I'm solo, I find myself like doing this, and more so in the moments that yeah, like in the moments where I'm taking my time. It's not that I'm trying to get in and out, like just trying to have that release. That yeah, it gets, I don't know, it get to show up more playful in the moments where I'm allowing myself to take more time. Or if I'm
Yeah.
like, I need to get done very quickly, so let me start talking dirty to myself or moaning or yelling or whatever it is, you know?
Yeah. And it's like noise is such a natural somatic release, anyways. So it's just this really, it's like a win-win,
Hmm.
right? The more that we can connect into that, our body feels that vibration, our nervous system likes that. And sometimes I remember even with sacred self-pleasure, the invitation was, can I turn on music and just start humming while I have my hands on myself? And just
Mm-hmm.
noticing what's different about that.
Hmm.
Whew, that was wild.
Yeah, I'm glad you added that in too. Yeah, even if it's not us making the direct sound, but having sound around us. I introduce this when I do tapping with people of just like humming and tapping to a song as well. And so you're bringing in that, yeah, the activation of voice inside, but then also the tapping with the acupressure in the body. And I think that's, yeah, just going back to what you said in the beginning, it's somatics is about the sensation. It's like feeling in the body, developing that awareness, that presence with yourself. And in this conversation, right, extending that into the sensation of pleasure and what that feels like and how can we access more of that.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know, I have a part that just wants to put voice to this, that it is a practice, right? I remember right after I'd had my flashbacks where it was like,
Hmm.
I actually went from wanting so much touch and attention to, ooh, no, like actually, Tom, you can only touch my pinky toe. Like I cannot have presence with that.
Hmm.
And it took a lot of, and I think that this is really important for folks too, of communication is so incredibly valuable. You have to know how to be able to advocate for yourself
Hmm.
and to talk with your partner about what's happening for you. And it was really about safety, where it was like, oh my gosh, to my lover, to my husband and partner, it was like, I know it's not you, but
Hmm.
these sensations are the same in my body. And my body doesn't know which story is right or wrong. My
Hmm.
body just knows, holy shit, shut down.
Hmm.
And it takes courage and bravery and attention and intention and curiosity to slowly allow yourself to thaw out of that space.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, good add in the extension of the voice and also just normalizing the healing process, right? It's not, if you feel like you're in the space of nothing is seeming to happen or nothing is changing, keep going, right? Like you're generally when we start to feel that we're on the verge of something because that is also as part of the noticing and working with the, yeah, the not being impatient, not being judgmental of yourself. Again, nothing is supposed to happen or nothing should look a certain way. Your body is your body. And Yeah,
Yeah.
again,
And
it's not linear.
totally. And numbness is a sensation, actually.
Mhm. Yes.
So your body is giving you really valuable information,
Hmm.
even if you can't tap into it as much as you are hoping for in this moment.
Hmm. Yeah. And I think that, yeah, an extension of this would be if you bring us this of like rubbing your fingers together, like doing something to bring in more awareness. So if somebody is in that numbing state, you'll ask like, well, what like can you rub your fingers together? What can you feel your fingers rubbing together? Yes, I can feel that, right? Like can you wiggle your toes? Can you feel them in your shoes or against the surface? Yes, I can feel that. So it's like bringing that awareness back into the body and then maybe another, yeah, check in like, okay, now what are you feeling? And it might still be numb, but it might be not numb.
Totally. And it's just that invitation to explore more.
Hmm.
And one of the things I really love about somatic work, which is I think kind of unique from other modalities, is we're never like jumping into the deep end immediately, right? There is no need to work with your biggest T issue. Like it is all about safety and building capacity and emotional resilience.
Hmm.
So we just are doing tiny little like moments of, okay, what is that which is more unpleasant? And then let's bring it back to a resource and something that's really, really grounding.
Hmm.
And then it's like, okay, let's go back to that thing that was unpleasant. And has anything shifted? Or maybe we notice that we can be with that unpleasant feeling for a few seconds longer.
Hmm.
And then her little feet.
I
And
know.
then like we bring it back to that grounding sensation. And so I just love that titration of being able to like, we don't have to jump into anything fully. This is just a gentle exploration of what is in this moment.
Hmm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if as we're kind of coming to a close here, what is one thing that you wish that everybody knew about their bodies?
Mm. Oh my gosh. And I'm like, am I really going to drop a John Mayer line right now? That like totally dates me. But I want to say that your body is a wonderland. Like, totally. And I'm cringing. I'm like, have such a fucking hardcore cringe that I said that.
Oh my God.
But it totally is that your body is so infinitely beautiful and wise.
Yeah.
And it's a literal wonderland if
Yes.
you just can choose to be curious about it and to be in that space.
Yes. My dog Mac is now like low barking in the back. He's like rooting for us. Like, yes, your body is a wonderland. You go, Mom and Molly.
I love that so much.
It's so funny that you said it because as soon as you were like, wait, am I gonna go there? I was like, oh, she's gonna say your body's a wonderland. Like I just knew it. Just yeah, the way that it came out, I was like, our bodies are wonderlands. Yeah.
It's
Love that.
amazing. And yeah, I mean, total a little cringy, but also what would it be like to really hold yourself to that and
Hmm.
to be curious and explore that?
Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah.
So much yumminess exists there.
It's so good. It's so good. And yeah, for people that are wanting to connect with you these days or potentially work with you, what's the best way of people finding you?
Absolutely. Follow me on Instagram. I do have a website, albeit I do need to be updating. But yeah, follow me on Instagram, sign up for my newsletter. I promise you, I'm not a spammer.
Hmm.
But you can get thoughtful check-ins with me throughout the year, with just my offerings, how to work with me, what that looks like, what my workshops are, etc.
Hmm. Hmm. And what's the Instagram for people to follow?
Oh, it's at molly.ames, MOLLY.EAMES.
Wonderful. Yes, please give Molly a follow. She is a just a light in this world. If you're not watching, you need to watch this podcast because you'll just see her beautiful face and just the way that she lights up. I'm sure you hear it through her voice too, but yes, really a wonderful person to follow. So thank you so much again, Molly, for coming on
Of
today
course.
and talking with us about this and yeah, sharing all of your knowledge and expertise in this space.
What a joy. Such an honor. I love being in connection with you, Rachel. And yes, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for spending your time with me today on the Owning Your Sexual Self podcast. If today's episode resonated with you, I invite you to pause and notice what stood out, what stirred something in you, or what you might want to explore a little bit more gently this week. If you'd like to support the podcast as it continues into its 6th year, subscribing, leaving a review, or sharing this episode with someone that you trust and love truly, truly means the world to me. It helps these conversations reach more people who need permission to feel less alone in their sexuality and their relationships. You can find more resources, programs, and ways to work with me in the show notes, and I'd love to connect with you beyond the podcast. Until next time, keep honoring your body, your boundaries, and your becoming. I'll see you soon.